I believe you understand those languages. Planning your finances for a better 2021, which means that before 2021, there were other years. Before 2021, there were other times. So, and before 2021, there were other performances. But you want a performance that is better in 2021 than what you had in 2020, 2019, and all the previous years, most likely. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this meeting today. My name is Yemi Ayodele. I am your host for today. And I'm going to be supported with some co-hosts who will assist me in managing the waiting room so that people do not stay long in the waiting room. Once again, you are welcome to this meeting. It's a privilege to have you in this meeting today, and I know that you will enjoy your time with me in the next 1 hour, 15 minutes that will be here. One of the ways, if you have been on my program before, one of the ways that we engage is as I speak to your mind and as I speak to your brain, whatever catches your attention, whatever hits the fabrics of your system, you type it in the chat box. So our chat box is always very engaging. So one thing that you will do for yourself is to engage in the chat box. For those that have been attending my programs, you know, by engaging in the chat box, by being participative, you can go away with some good dollars. However, that is not our focus for today. It's not that we are making you, but today we are coming to look at how to plan for a better 2021 financially. However, it's part of my nature as the program goes. Anything that hits the fabric of your system, your mind, hits your mind, you put it in the chat box. So the chat box is always a very busy place during my trainings. So ladies and gentlemen, that's still what we're going to have today. And like I said, it's a privilege to have you around today. We go straight to the business of today. Permit me to share my screen with you as a way of also carry you along as I also facilitate or discuss with you in this program. So permit me to share my screen. I'll share my screen from time to time. I will take it off from time to time as need be. So ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. My name again is Yemi Ayodele. I am the lead mentor in the program Financial Mentoring with Yemi Ayodele. I am the lead mentor. And so I'm going to also be leading in this meeting today. As you can see, if you can see the screen, my slide, if you can see it from where you are, please, can you just drop a 1 for me in the chat box? If you can see my slide on the screen and you can hear me very well, can you drop a 1 for me in the chat box? Please, my co-host, I want a very good, perfect job today. I don't want anybody in the waiting room for 2 seconds. So if you can see my screen, can you just drop a 1 for me in the chat box? And from now till the program is over, I don't want you to take your hands off the chat box. I want you to get something as you are learning, get something as it's hitting your fabrics. Please get it into the chat box. Let me know that I'm really impacting you. Ladies and gentlemen, the program is planning your finances for a better 2021. Planning your finances for a better 2021. This is my mentorship code. I said, I've always known that without a mentor in life, you are left to the limit of your struggles. But with a mentor, you have a wing to fly. I have therefore lived my life trying to mentor young and at times older people in various aspects of life, most especially financially and spiritually. The result of the mentorship is a growing community of mentees with unbelievable results. Some of their testimonials you will read as we go on and also on our various platforms. Now, I read from Craig Mapp. He said, if you can film an idea in your mind, and that's what we are going to try to do today. We are going to film an idea of 2021 in our mind. If you can film an idea in your mind follow that idea, film by film, shot by shot, scene for scene. That idea is worth making. If you can film an idea in your mind, follow that film idea, shot for shot, scene for scene, then that idea is worth making. And so what I'm saying here, also why I related it to this, is that the idea of a better 2021 is worth chasing, is worth chasing. And I know together we are going to chase it. And 2021, by the time we are ending 2021, you'll be very excited that you attended this meeting, and then you'll be also excited to witness the planning for 2022. Because let me tell you, anything you do not plan for, you are not guaranteed to achieve. Anything you do not plan for. That is why in one of the most famous books in the world called the Bible, he said, write the vision, write it down, make it plain, so that those that are run with it, anything that is not planned, whatever you do not plan, you are not guaranteed to achieve it. Whatever you do not plan, you are not guaranteed to achieve it. That's why it's important. I know many of us didn't do this in 2020, in 2019. We didn't do this in 2018. We didn't do this in 2017. Maybe we did it for some other aspect of our lives, including writing down our prayer points and the things that we want to achieve in 2020, the next year. However, we never took time to write our financial plan down. How do I want my 2021 to be financially? If you can create that film in your mind and you follow it from tomorrow, shot by shot, scene for scene, then you discover that that idea is going to come to pass. That idea is going to come to manifestation. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are looking at, who is this man that you're talking to? Is a system administrator, a data warehousing and migration expert, an Oracle certified professional, and a financial analyst, a certified emotional intelligence expert, an experienced banker of 12 years in the Nigerian banking system, an American counselor and author with passion for teaching and impacting lives, a strategist and a mentor. Yemi Ayodele is an author gifted in singing and a multi-instrumentalist. He is a financial stroke investment advisor and mentor who has traveled far and wide with range of experiences. I belong to a community of about 35,000 wealthy people in America. Subscription is just $6,000 every year. And so we have the opportunity of belonging to this community where we have over 350 having their private jet, more than 100 having their ship, their ship for business, and so on and so forth. And from here, we are able to, when you as we go on, you will see the import of being in a community of wealthy people, such a way that before an event happens in the world, especially financially, they are already privy to it. They share it among themselves, and they move. I'm going to show you how that works as we go on. And that is the same thing I'm trying to build here in Nigeria, and not just limited to Nigeria, other participants around the world that may also want to be part of this community that we are building. So, ladies and gentlemen, continue with me. Our mentoring community our goal is to raise 10,000 wealthy people by 2025. 10,000 wealthy people by 2025, which means that the moment you join us, you have a 5-year long-term goal to become wealthy, and 2 years medium-term goal. And this is how we put it. In 2 years, you will already be in wealth. And then in 5 years, you'll be established in wealth. You'll be on the journey in 2 years, then in 5 years, you're established in wealth. And this is the way we put it simply as our slogan in the community. We say, in 2 years, I will be able to say, by the grace of God, I cannot be poor again. Then in 5 years, I will be able to say, anything I want in life, I can afford it. So our goal is to raise 10,000 wealthy people by 2025. This is our big idea. Financial Mentoring with Yemi Ayodele was set up as an organization to mentor and empower young urban professionals and entrepreneurs with the essentials of wealth creation and financial management. Our vision is to be a community of wealthy people, championing the necessary change in society and contributing to the development of Africa. Our mission is to raise a community of the wealthy. This we do by helping every member to build wealth from scratch by understanding the wealth mindset, leveraging on time-tested and proven systems of wealth creation, and helping them to plug into platforms to make and manage and multiply wealth, managing and multiplying wealth. Our values are in a short acronym that we call acrostic MILDIC, modesty, integrity, learning, discipline, and commitment. MILDIC, modesty, integrity, learning, discipline, and commitment. Now, this is our mentorship model. This is our mentorship model. We begin by taking everyone through what we call a mentorship training that currently we hold every Saturday. The mentorship training holds every Saturday between the hour of 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. African time, GMT +1. And this is the first step in our mentorship model. And the idea is that you need knowledge to expand your awareness, and you need a wealthy mindset to begin the journey to wealth. Most people, that is why there's a difference between wealth and riches. Like I've talked before in several of our programs, you can be rich and not be wealthy, because riches can come through several means, including borrowing, including debt. You can be in debt and be rich. You can borrow money from the bank and be rich. You can be corrupt and be rich. But there is just one way to be wealthy, and that is to know and create wealth. You must understand how to create wealth, and then you move in the direction of creating wealth. That's why people that are wealthy create it. Wealth is created. Monies can be made, but wealth can only be created. The second step in our model is to exhibit products and opportunities. You need to understand, no matter how much you have, if you don't understand the best products and opportunities in town that the wealthy take advantage of to get them and position them into wealth, you'll just be laboring. You will run every kind of business and still remain not wealthy. You can run any kind of business. Let me tell you, it's not every business several businesses can make you rich, but not every business can make you wealthy. So you will see that you are running from poultry farming to building to this to that. But you need to understand that wealth is created. And to create wealth, you need to understand these particular products among several others that makes the wealthy people to position them into wealth. Number 3 is having the mentorship training, which is the first step, is for everyone, is for anyone. So on Sundays by the same 2 p.m., we run the second stage, exhibiting products and opportunities, showcasing different products and opportunities that the wealthy take advantage of to enter into wealth. And so we do that on Sunday also between the hour of 2 and 3 p.m. GMT +1. And for these 2 stages, you can be a freelance. You can come and attend the mentorship training for the past 3 months or more. We've been running this program, the first and second stage, and every of them, they are posted on our YouTube channel. So you can listen to some of the past editions and see the mentorship training and the exhibiting of products and opportunities that the wealthy take advantage of. Now, the next stage is a closed one. It's called the mentorship community. Having attended the mentorship training does not make you belong to the mentorship community. Having listened to the products and opportunity exhibition does not make you to be a member of the mentorship community. The mentorship community is here. That is where our vision begins, to raise 10,000 wealthy people by 2025. And this we do by creating a relationship that builds discipline and a community culture into people so that everyone is speaking the same language. You cannot come and learn in the mentorship training and return back to the community where everything they believe that nothing works, where every opportunity they see, they categorize it as Ponzi, as get rich quick. You cannot run this together. So what you do is that having been part of the mentorship training, you have listened and to exhibited products and opportunities. Then if you want to begin the journey, then you join the mentorship community. From the mentorship community, we have our discipline, we have our culture, we have our practices. From there, and that's why every time I do the training and exhibit the products on products, I tell people this is the link to join the practical mentorship community, but please don't be in a hurry to do that, because the moment you do that, it is free. The similar one I belong to in America will pay 6,000 subscription every year, $6,000 subscription every year. But for this, I'm running it for free. However, I tell people it is free but costly, because the moment you come into this community, you lose control over your finance. You do everything as the community does it. You take on the values as we exhibited here: modesty, integrity, learning, discipline, commitment. It becomes part of your lifestyle. And then we have a standard, a minimum benchmark, which of your income, which you must by minimum contribute to investing on the journey to wealth. Then, so that is the 3-level model. The next level, that's why you see the success level, is at that point of practical mentorship. Now, having done that, then you enter into the practical mentorship. The first thing we do is to take every member's definition of wealth ambition. We'll get there later. We'll take your definition of wealth ambition, define the capital requirement to work into it, then define the best fit method for capital accumulation. You will understand some of these languages that I'm using as we progress. Then, when you have done this, you are on a journey. In 2 years, you will say, I am on the journey to wealth. In 5 years, you say, I have arrived in wealth. And simply we say, in 2 years, you'll be able to say, I cannot be poor again by the grace of God. And in 5 years, you'll be able to beat your chest and say, by the grace of God, anything I want in life, I can afford. I mean, including I want a private jet, including I want to own a ship, and all of that, and all of that. I want to own an oil rig. It is not an exclusive right of some people. All you need to do is to understand this model and this this journey into wealth. The wealthy does not just arrive in wealth. It is a conscious plan. It's a conscious plan. So this I just show this, showing us the processes. Okay, showing us the processes of admission into the practical community, the journey. We start with capital accumulation, then we go into multiplication and fortification, and then that's the success story there, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a journey of 5 years. That's also our key growth timelines. Is in year 1, we want to be able to establish 200 mentorship members of the community who are on the journey to wealth. In 2 years, we want to have 500. Then from there, you will see that there's a trigger. In 3 years, we want to have 2,000 members of the community that are on the journey to wealth. In 4 years, 4,000. And then in 5 years, success, 10,000 members of the community who have been grown into wealth. Wealth creation models. Let me talk to us about wealth creation model. There is the traditional wealth creation model, which which we understand today. When you see a man, you can call this man is a wealthy man. Most of them are in this traditional model. Most of them are either that they have manufacturing companies, they have industries, they are into oil and gas, one form of production or the other. Then we have the second model, which is called the digital model. And I postulated this many months ago, and I said in the next 2 years, anyone that is not operating here will be lost in the journey of seeking wealth. Anyone that is not operating in the digital model will be lost in the journey of seeking wealth. In the next 2 years, I said wealth will be totally redefined. Wealth will be totally redefined in the next 2 years. It's already happening now. Many of us are not even yet exposed to it because we are still locked in our traditional system, But the massive wealth that is being created in these days is from the digital model, from the digital wealth platform, from the digital entrepreneurship platform. The traditional model is already established. Most of them have become a family businesses, family institutions, which most of us don't have opportunity of belonging because you didn't have a rich father, a rich mother, you don't have a wealthy, you didn't marry from a wealthy family, you didn't mingle with the wealthy in school, and so you became friends. Then you just have one more opportunity, and that will be found in the digital model. And so then we will also be having in a few years from now, people who are in the traditional model who are also hybriding with digital model. So we call it the hybrid model, a combination of traditional and digital wealth creation opportunities. Now, let me quickly take us through some of the testimonials. I have a few of them, but I'll just rush through them, of people who have been in this community, people who are in this community. I have one here from George. He said, I thank God for making me a partaker of this financial mentoring program. From this program, I've learned how to be financially disciplined. I've also learned how to reduce unnecessary expenses and save it for investment. I also learned how to control my resources by channeling it to investment. This program has changed my perspective on creating wealth. Through this financial mentoring program, God has helped me to develop a strong desire for wealth creation, which I'm already working on. Personally, what I learned from my mentor, Yemi Ayodele, has challenged me in taking action by creating artificial scarcity lifestyle approach on my journey to creating wealth. That is from George, one of the members of the community already that we are building. Then I have one here from Joy. Joy said that financial mentoring with Yemi Ayodele has been a blessing to my mindset and orientation. Before joining the mentorship program, my finance had been spent as I earn. I usually save, but it has been towards a need, which takes me back to square one. Financial mentoring with Yemi Ayodele changed my understanding towards spending and investment and has taught me how to invest rightly. And now, within 2 months, I have started earning 5 figures every week and still building, which I never thought was possible. Now my spending habits have changed and I invest more. Thank you, Yemi Ayodele, for this wonderful platform. So on and on, you can check our platforms, you will see some of them. This is from David. He said, I've been a member of the mentorship training with Yemi Ayodele for over 3 months now, and it's the best thing that has ever happened to me this year, as many areas of my life is experiencing a paradigm shift. This program has shaped my financial life for the better, making earning a 7-digit pay every week a reality. I am confident to proclaim that all these positive and exciting moments is as a result of my mentor's immense contribution. Thank you, dear coach, for all that you do. So you can see, okay, let me read this last one from Olusegun. He said, I had in the past lost huge sums of money to failed investment. When I came in contact with Yemi Ayodele on the financial mentoring program, I now have a better knowledge on investment principles. Also, I have been able to conquer the fear of past failures. His teaching are superb and real. It has built confidence in me and changed my concept about wealth acquisition. I cannot boldly say my tomorrow is secure. Thanks, Sir Olusegun. That is another member of the community. Now, this is what I say. I say, when you join our community, the first assignment I have is to expose your mind to the philosophy of wealth, then reprogram your orientation, mind, brain, and expand your awareness. I work to develop your mindset and discipline and bring you into a community culture. And this is the biggest thing that you can achieve in mentorship, a community culture. The moment you get in there, you get out of the midst of people that say things don't work. You get out of the community of people that say, that blames government for everything, blame their parents for giving back to them, blame their community for not having good roads and bad roads. And I tell people, I said during the COVID-19 pandemic, how many individuals, that is what I told my community, my members of the community, I said, how many people individually donated 1 billion naira to the federal government of Nigeria? How many? We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. How many donated 500 million naira, 500 billion naira? How many donated 200 billion naira? So if everyone, including them, had sat back waiting for palliative from government, then we will always wait in vain. And that is why it's important that you understand the wealth creation process so that you can be the next person donating to the federal government, to donating to countries months to come again, in case there is any need around the world, that you are one of the people that are standing up and giving $1 billion. 1 billion naira, 200 million naira and dollars. You know, that is what we say. Now, what is next? If you put to use what you will learn in this program, you will be the next to write your testimonial. You'll be the next to write your testimonial. So this is the program Financial Mentoring with Yemi Ayodele. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as Wordcard Mentor. And on YouTube, you can search for Financial Mentoring with Yemi Ayodele. One of the members of the community should drop the YouTube link so that as many as are here and have not subscribed to the YouTube link can do that. Please, one of the mentees, let them, one of you please drop the link to the YouTube channel. But for the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just search for Wordcard Mentor. You will see us there. Every single day, morning and evening, we give you cryptocurrency updates. We show you how to buy and trade in crypto. And we also talk about financial and monetary policies. We also post some quotes. This also, we look at this, we say you can be informed and not updated. Ladies and gentlemen, for many of us, maybe this is not the first time you are getting an invite for our normal weekly program, but something just tells you, I probably know what he wants to say. You can be informed and not be updated. That's why every time I meet someone, no matter how, I met a woman last week, Saturday, she doesn't look like someone who is very exposed. In fact, from her analysis of what she does them ignorantly. But I listen to her, I pick one or two opportunities from her, which I started studying, because what we do is that every opportunity that comes to me, I study them. When I pick one or two that looks like they are like it, that they can grow into people into wealth, then sometimes I take a model of attempting it. When I attempt it, then it works, then I can bring it to the community and ask them to also participate in it. Profit is what you get when your money works for you. There are two kinds of income that comes to a man. Number one is called wages. Number two is called profit. Anything you sweat to get is called wages. Anything you sweat to get. I'm not seeing charts in the chat box. I'm not seeing it flow like I want. I love it to flow. Members of the community, you already know. So I want to see profit is what you get when your money works for you. Ladies and gentlemen, as long as you work for money, as long as you spend your time, you are paid on your time. Don't be deceived. Even when you open a shop, you are still being paid for your time, because if you are not in the shop to open the shop, there will not be sales. For every of those, it is still called wages. You are a government worker, we work in the private sector, you have your own business that you must go and open every day. You are still earning what? You are still earning wages. Wages is what you are paid for surrendering your destiny, for surrendering your purpose in life. That's what they do. So you surrender it and somebody engages you with his own purpose and you help to drive someone else's purpose. That is wages. But anytime your money works for you, you are making profit. Let me also tell you that anytime you feed your children with wages, money you earn from sweat, going to work from morning till night, anytime you feed your children with it, you are growing witches and wizards. You are growing witches and wizards. Because you are feeding them, that money is called wages, is called blood money. Because any money you earn from sweat is called wages and it's blood money, because money, such monies are not meant to be spent. Such monies are meant to be put to work, and the outcome of the putting it to work is what you are meant to spend. We'll get to that. So the business of the day, let's go. Business of the day is planning your finances for a better 2021. Now let's look at your 2020. Was your 2020 like this? I want you to put your hand in the chat box. Was your 2020 like this, dirty and rough, like these notes? Look at this 100 naira. There are 100 nairas and there are 100 nairas. This is a 100 naira currency of Nigerian currency. Look at this currency. Is this how your 2020 look like, dirty and rough? Or slopey? You can see hilly, slopey, bumpy, up and downs. Look at the money you are counting, dirty and rough. Look at the journeys you are undertaking, slopey. You can see even the weather is very cloudy. Was your 2020 like this, rocky and cloudy and rough? Or is it like this? For some of us, this was our 2020. This is how we can describe our 2020. Wow, cozy, booming, you know, the best naira notes, the dollar, all currencies, any in foreign currencies. That is all. So when we demonstrate our community members who are already earning in Nigeria currency 7 digits, that is a minimum every week, not as salary, not 7 digits a month, a week. That 7 digits starts from 1 million naira. We have some of them who some months and who some weeks earn 2.5 million, 2.3 million, some weeks 1.2 million every week, not even every month. So cozy and booming, you can see, is this how your thank you. Somebody is already telling the truth or say the reality, because if you don't tell yourself the truth, you may not also know what to do to change your situation as it is now. So ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this, or when you compare 2020 with expected 2021, I know this is it for somebody. 2020 was like this. Look at those accidents, multiple accidents, ups and downs, trucks running from the hill to the valley. But now look at, this is 2021. If this is what you want, a change from those rocky to bloominess into these beautiful, sweet things, just type it for me. This is, I need a change. Say, I want a change. Type it in the chat box. I want a change. This is the kind of change that we want. Now, looking forward to your 2021. Looking forward to your 2021. Thank you. I want a change. Yes, thank you. I want a change. Thank you, Ademuyiwa. I want a change. Thank you, Oche. I want a change. I want more. I want a change. So that I can speak to your mind and show you how the change can come. Thank you, Akoda. You want a change. Tell me you want a change, or you love to remain where you were. You love this hilly and rocky and cloudy. You love this dirty. You are looking for money to spend. You are turning the whole house upside down just to be able to find money to spend. Say, I want a change. I want more. Somebody say, I need a dramatic change. That person that typed that, you have just won $10 for yourself. That person that wants a dramatic change, please get the name for me. $10 for that. Let's go on. Now, it doesn't just happen. If you want a change, you are looking forward. You can see this man wants a change, but there is a focus. He is already looking at it from a perspective of I must get there, and is focused on it. Looking forward to your 2021. Desires is not just what produces result. Desires in itself don't always produce the result. Desires in itself does not always produce result. The result you desire, the result you are going to achieve must come from the man or the woman that you have become, not the desire you have. It comes from the man, the woman that you have become, or that you are going to become, or that you are working to become, not on your desire. Let me tell you, there are so many people with beautiful desire. They've been having it for more than 20 years, 30 years, but they have not entered into their desire. Why? Because they have not changed themselves. You need to change yourself, because the result you will get in life will come from the man that you have become, from the woman that you have become. Ladies and gentlemen, you can make it happen. Make the desire to happen in 2021. And how do you do it? Take action. Where do I start from? Somebody's asking all of this where do I start from? The first step is to understand wealth. The first step is to understand wealth. Many of us don't even know the real definition of wealth. Wealth does not start with money. Wealth starts with the mind. Wealth starts in the mind, not with money. I was talking to a friend of mine who had been in America, specifically New York now, for more than 15 years. And so I was telling him about an opportunity, and also showing him the dimension of wealth. And he said to me, he said, is it not someone that has money that we invest? And I told him, I said, the beginning of investment is not with money, it's with mindset, it's with understanding. You know, there are so many things that I have today that I don't even have the money to execute them. But it's important that I have them, because as soon as money is coming, I know where to put them. The number of mentees in our community had never exhausted the opportunities that we have. Why? Because there are loads of opportunities waiting for people to tap into them. And until you have the opportunity, even when there is the finance to do anything, the finance can be wasted because there is nothing there is nothing waiting for you to invest on. Now, 8 habits of highly productive people. Take away unimportant focus as you go into 2021. Take away things that are not important. Let me tell you, there is this 80-20 theory. Says that 20% of what you do in life makes the 80% result, gives you the 80% result, which means that 80% of what we do in life are really not as important. So what we do is to just engage in talks, in this, in that, but the things that give us the result that we have in life is 20% of our efforts. 80% are just neither here nor there. So you must focus, remove those, minimize those 80% to a very high level, and take away your focus from those unimportant things. Then take strategic breaks. Like what we are doing today is strategy. Take strategic breaks. You are sitting back and looking at yourself. Am I faring well? Are things really well with me? Apart from just declaring it, are things really well with me? Is my finances well? Am I where I'm supposed to be? You know, and it's not about a comparison game. I'm not even comparing myself with anybody, but I know the kind of thing that I want to become in my mind, and I'm working towards it. So am I really close to what I want to be, or I am just lost in the jungle of life? Set a timeline to what you want to achieve. Create your flow in your environment, a space that inspires you. And you see all of this, you will see that this is what the community does for you. It creates for you a space that inspires you. You see your friend, you see a member of your community earning 8 digits in a week, and you tell yourself, no, I must also do 7 at least before the end of this month. You know, you see your people, your community, you see someone who is contributing 70% of his monthly income into investment, and you are doing 40. You say, no, I must also make sacrifices and defer my benefit so that I can invest more. You know, use time, or do automation, automate your process where need be. Automate your process where need be. Don't forget here, the desire you have, the result you have in life must come from the man or woman that you have become. Now, let's look at vision. One of the things that we do in our community is to redefine definitions. You know, this is what the world do. They redefine definitions. When you redefine definition, you create a shift. You create a shift from the norm. You create a shift from the status quo. So before now, we have had several facilitators. We have had several speakers say vision is the future, is the picture of your future. And so I'm going to ask everyone here today, if vision is the picture of your future, what's a dream? A future, get into the chat box now, please. Let's get into the chat box. If vision is the picture of your future, what is a dream? So most time in our community, we have come to realize that vision, it cannot be the picture of my future. The picture I see of my future is my dream. My vision, so we have redefined vision as who you are now. Don't forget the emphasis on now. That's why it's in capital letter. Who I am now by the reason of what I see. So by the reason of the dreams that I have, what have I become? That's the vision. That's the vision. Vision is not the picture of your future. If you see the future and you are and you stay looking at the future, you are dreaming. You are a dreamer. A dreamer is someone that sees the picture of his future. It's called a dreamer. Now, you become a visionaire when you become now what you see about yourself in the future. So, and how does that happen? It happens by you seeing yourself in the beautiful future and beginning to act it now. You can see the beautiful future and do nothing, and becomes a dead dream, and becomes a marriage, and becomes just one of those lost lost sight. Ladies and gentlemen, vision is seeing beyond. It's not about seeing, sir. Vision, listen to me, please don't put your definition. Listen to me, except you are the facilitator here. Vision is not, is seeing beyond the visible. That is dream. It's still called dream. At the best, it is prophecy. That is seeing beyond the invisible, seeing the picture of your future. All of those are dreams. And if you want to spiritualize it, we call it prophecy and whatever. But vision, write the vision, make it plain so that those that walk with it, run with it. So what does that mean? Is that when you see the picture of your future, it's a dream. But when you begin to run with it, then it becomes a vision. So a dream is the picture of your future, is what you see beyond what is a reality. But vision is who you are now, by the reason of what you see. So if you see yourself as a billionaire, begin to do it now. Begin to do the things that billionaires do. Begin to do the things that wealthy people do. Begin to operate in the realm that the wealthy people operate. You know, that is what, when it becomes a vision, it is not seeing it that is a vision. Seeing it is a dream. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that is making lots and lots of sense to us. Now, let's look. Making great wealth requires what? Positioning yourself into wealth requires a lot of things, and I'm going to just summarize as paradigm shift. You must have a paradigm shift. How you ran 2020, 2019, 2018, you must have a shift from it. Number one shift that you must have is to rewire your brain for success. That is what we do every Saturday by 2 p.m., rewiring people's brain for success. You know, somebody said, I never saw myself facing the public and talking to 2,000 people, but my mentor made it happen. He kept telling me that you can do it. He kept reviewing my processes. Then one day I found myself on that podium where I was talking to a minister, you know, and I was doing it so confidently. And where my mentor was, he was giving me thumbs up. You know, rewire your brain. These processes is what helps you to rewire your brain. See the world in a totally new, different way. And let me tell you, many of us are here, we think we are rich, actually, because salary could have made us rich. Some of the little business that we do could have made us rich. Our family background could have made us rich, but we are not yet wealthy. Wealth is when you are able, you understand, when you are able to create wealth. Number two paradigm shift is take away negative behaviors. Number three, be and do anything. That means run your life believing that you can be anything, you can do anything. And this you also have to achieve by putting away all the blames on people and focusing on yourself, because at the end of the day, those people are not the ones to pay your bill. You will still be the one to pay your bill. Be the architect of your life. Put everything you see in the future, put it into a reverse engineer and put them into daily actions. Now, you must understand that your wish is your command. If you wish evil, you get evil. If you wish good, if you know you are wealthy and you begin the journey and you begin to act it and you begin to walk it, you discover that you are getting into it. Then the last one I'm talking about is master your mindset. Understand the things that takes you back into the old place, the old environment, the old thing, and just cut it off so that understand and be able to predict yourself. And the moment you start seeing traces of the things that made you to operate below standard last year, then you begin to say, no, this is not how I'm going to go again this year. You know, now let's compare X and Y. I don't want to say what X is, and I don't want to say what Y is. But maybe you permit me to say that X represents poverty, Y represents wealth. X represents poverty, Y represents wealth. So on each of these, you will see a comparison between X's and Y's. Poor people, they are the X in this representation, and Y are the wealthy people. Poor people are emotional. Poor people are emotional, and because they're emotional, they are irrational. They blame everyone for their woes. Wealthy people are objective. They take responsibility for their own failures and successes, and they move on. They look at where they fell and what they can do again to stand up again, and they begin to do it. When a poor man falls, he stays there. When a wealthy man falls, he learns from it and moves on in life and do something great by the experiences that he learned. What did I say? When poor people fall, they remain on the ground. When wealthy people fall, they learn from that experience and they use the weight of the experience that they've had, they move forward in life. Number two thing, comparing X and Y. Wealthy people, poor people are paid for time. They work and get paid. They are not paid for the days they do not put in effort. Nobody pays you for the day you didn't open your shop. Nobody pays you for the day you didn't go to work. But wealthy people are paid for results because they are after a product and a service, and they work to get paid, to get the result out, how much value they are able to add, how much they bring to the table, and that's what they get paid on. As long as you are still getting paid for work and time, you are poor. Ladies and gentlemen, where poor people learn but do not change. Poor people are always stuck in their ways. You know, this is how we have been. See, somebody was listening to one of my presentations some weeks ago in our mentorship training on Saturday, and she was watching the training with her husband, and she told me, she said, as I was talking, the husband said, don't mind them. When they have platform, they will just be saying anything. This thing does not work. You know, why? Because they are stuck in their ways. He's stuck in his ways. And I asked him, okay, since he's not been thinking the way I'm thinking, how much dollars has he put on the table? How much thousands of dollars? You know, but wealthy people learn and change. They change their situation, they change their habits, they change their beliefs, and then everything around them just change. Poor people have consumption social media habits, while wealthy people have productive social media habits. What is consumption social media habit? They are on social media, poor people on social media to waste time, to laugh, and watch what others create. They are on social media to waste time, laugh, and watch what others create. Productive social media habit is the wealthy people on social media to learn, to see opportunities, to make money, to create wealth, and to sell services every single day. That is what wealthy people do. Now, let's also look. Poor people have a lottery Ponzi mentality, while wealthy people have action and result mentality. Poor people only appreciate the get rich quick schemes. And rather than assess genuine opportunities, they call them Ponzi's. Wealthy people understand how to assess and objectively rate opportunities, so they can objectively rate opportunities. Just yesterday, we saw that one of the Forex trading company operating in Nigeria, West Africa, just shut down. And somebody ran to me and said, but sir, you recommended a Forex platform for us to invest. I said, yes. And I began to enumerate the difference between that one that died or that was shut down and the one that keeps having multiplication of reservoirs of profit that it has made after paying its customers money. You know, one of the things that we have to understand is that somehow in our environment here, we have some get rich quick mentality. That's why somebody will come and say, oh, this 10%, this 5% is too small. Why not do 20%? Maybe you are making, we saw in your report that you are making 20%. But someone who says, I'm making 20%, but I'm going to give 10% because I want to live the next 100, 200 years, so that the days I make low returns, I can still pay you without having any issue because I have accumulated rates and percentage in volume, which I've set aside in case of the bad days, business days. No, now poor people watch TV. They concentrate on activities that do not add value, such as watching TV. Wealthy people read books. They learn from successful people. They know that success is about who you listen to. Tell me this happens. Success is about who you listen to. Success is about who you listen to. And that's why you need to come and see what we have created in our community of people who are gradually moving out of poverty and moving into wealth. Poor people spend money on consumption, while wealthy people spend money on investment. Poor people are the best consumers. That is why a very wealthy man in America was interviewed and asked many years ago and said, what do you think, why do people remain poor? And he said it's because of consumption. And he gave an instance. He said, take the 100 wealthiest men in the world and take the 100 poorest people in the world, share the wealth of the 100 wealthiest, and share it among the 100 poorest people. He said in 100 days, everything was given 100. He said in 100 days, the money will return back to the owners. He said the money, they said, how? He said that poor people naturally have consumption mentality. So give them money. The first thing they want to do is to dress themselves. The next thing they want to do is to buy cars. But give a wealthy man additional money. He goes and look for investment. Wealthy people spend money on investment. Wealthy people's best buys are investment packages, while poor people's best buys are consumption items. Did you get that? Wealthy people's best buys are investment packages. Poor people's best buys are consumption items, TV, generating set. The people that run the generating sets, especially in our environment here, they are the poor people the most. Before the power is taken off, they have started the generating sets. And that's why in some cities in Nigeria, like Lagos, you will see a building of about 20 flats. The moment you hear the public light goes off, you hear prara here, you hear prara here, everybody is putting on this thing. Ask these people where they work. Some of them they couldn't even find what to eat that evening, but they have money to buy, to put in their investment. Somebody was telling me something yesterday, and I said something, and I know one of my community members was with me, and he started writing down. I said, you do not give to someone, it is wrong to give to someone what you have not invested in yourself. So somebody who could not really afford a good life for himself say, hey, I'm gathering money, I want to rent shop for my sister. I said, okay, the sister you are renting shop for, how many shop have you opened for yourself? How much investment have you invested for yourself? And this is the mentality of, it is an irrational attitude. It is not objective. Why will I invest for you what I've not invested for myself? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the mentality of the poor. Poor people focus on wages, while wealthy people focus on investment income. Wages is what you are paid for the hours you put in. Wealthy people focus on profit. Profit is what you get when your money works for you. Another thing that happens between the wealthy and the poor is that poor people lack information. Poor people lack information. Wealthy people are rich in information. One major difference between the poor and the wealthy is information. If you are rich in information, wealth will be attracted to you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I think this is the last one on this. Poor people hang around people like them. Wealthy people also hang around wealthy people. Where poor people hang around people that don't have what they want. You want a better life, but you are hanging around someone who is poor like you. How do you intend to get it? So tomorrow you will say, wealthy people are always giving their children to wealthy people like them. Do you want a wealthy man to come and bring a child who was raised with a royalty mindset to come into an environment where they complain that nothing is good? Nobody does that. Even if you are the wealthy man, you will not do that. So how do you want a wealthy man to give out his child, his daughter, his son, to be married to a poor man, when their thinking process and faculty works differently? Success breeds success. Success rubs off. Don't forget this one of the things. Success breeds success. Success rubs off. Hang around friends who can add value to you. Look at the 5 closest friends around you. Are they people like you? Are they people like you want to become? If they are people like you want to become, then keep on to them. But if they are not like people you want to become, then you need to change them. Poor people last commitment, while wealthy people are always committed to cause. Poor people don't take action, wealthy people take action. Ladies and gentlemen, poor people blame people and situation for their woes, while wealthy people take responsibility. They know that their life is about them, that it's up to them. Don't blame anybody. Don't blame your father for giving you back to you. Don't blame your father for betting you in the local, in the poor environment. Take responsibility. Focus on yourself, because at the end of the day, no one is going to pay your bills. Develop what we call a big mind. There are no big people in the world. There are only big minds. There are no big people in the world. There are only big minds. Everything you do will always take the shape of your mind. Everything you do will always take the shape of your mind. So develop a big mind. develop a big mind. Develop a big mind. Now, let's quickly move. Now, what are we looking at? Creative imagination. Like I said, in our community, we redefine definitions. Creative, before now, we have always known that imagination rules the world. But in our community, we know that imagination does not rule the world. It is only creative imagination that rules the world. Only creative imagination rules the world. Before you experience success on the outside, it must start from within. If your mind is wealthy, your actions will be geared towards being wealthy, and then you will set goals in that same direction that will make you enter into the wealth that you love. Now, this is what we need to do, understanding the four levels of wealth. And this I'm going to take with good examples as we begin to move gradually towards the end of the program. We are ready to third gun. Understanding the different levels of wealth. I taught this in one of my programs some weeks ago, and that day I couldn't rest because as soon as the program was over, there were calls coming in, people who never understood wealth in the ways I taught it that day, especially on the four levels of wealth. The beginning of the journey to wealth is called wealth accumulation. There are four classes. There are four classes in the degree called wealth that you must attend. You must go just like a university degree. You must go through the 100 level, the 200 level, the 300 level, and 400 level. And in some cases, 500 level. But for this is a 4-level curriculum that you must undergo. Wealth accumulation is the first level. This is the most important level in your journey to wealth. It requires discipline, consistency, and perseverance. The seriousness you put to this stage will determine how quickly you will get into wealth. This is where capital is raised. What you multiply into wealth is called capital. And whatever you're able to raise, the size of your capital will determine how quickly you will get into wealth, or even if you ever get to wealth. The reason why many people today have never started the journey to wealth is because they are either not willing to raise capital, they are not willing to make sacrifices to raise capital, because let me tell you, there is no one method of raising capital that is easy. There is no one method of raising capital that is easy. So it's a state that you must be committed, you must show serious commitment and determination. So many people had never started the journey because they are not willing. They are not willing to show this commitment and determination. This is where, if you're able to, let's take a journey. You want to buy a car, and the car is 2 million naira, and you earn 100,000. If you are willing to donate 10,000 every month to buy the car, that means the journey will take you 200 years. But if you are willing to donate 80% of your income, maybe like 80,000 out of the 100,000, you know that the length of the journey is reduced by 80%. So that is what happens in wealth accumulation. It is the money is the wealth is the capital you accumulate, or the wealth that you accumulate that you can multiply. You cannot put to multiply capital that you have not accumulated. And that's why I said this is the most important stage in life, in the journey to wealth. The second stage is called wealth multiplication. After wealth had been accumulated, then the next thing is that you will multiply it. It is multiplied at this stage. And the size of the capital will determine the volume that the multiplication process will produce, and consequently the speed of your journey to wealth. It is the size of your capital. It determines the volume of that the multiplication process will produce, and consequently the speed at which you will arrive in your journey to wealth. Number 3 stage is called what we call the wealth fortification. What you do at this stage is to fortify wealth, is wealth that you have made. Now you have raised, you have multiplied your wealth. Now you want to put into something that is more tangible. When we talk about tangibility, we are looking at having estates, having buildings, real estate, buildings, manufacturing industries. These are not wealth multiplication process, they are wealth fortification process. And I've seen people, and that is one of the impressions that I've corrected, and which many people didn't know before. Many people have attempted to use real estate as a wealth multiplication process. But ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the biggest errors we have ever made. I give you this example. In the environment where I live in Abuja, Nigeria, houses for you to have a 2-bedroom flat, I mean, buy a 2-bedroom flat, you will have around 35 million. Now, if I want to multiply wealth and I have 35 million capital and I put it to buy that house, and then let me tell you, the income from rent is about 750,000 naira every year. 750,000. Now, if you have a 35 million investment, and it gives you 750,000 every month, that is about 50 years to recoup your capital. At the 51 year, you start making profit. Now, let me tell you, you say sometimes, no, it's not only about buying houses. It's not only about real estate. Sometimes you see some land opportunities in places that you can buy, and in about 5 months, 6 months, it doubles. Yes. But let me tell you, if you make your calculation wrongly and you overstay, you could lose. If you understate, you could lose. That is a lot speculative. We call it speculative investment. So that is not what you can close your eyes. Like I told someone about one opportunity that I showed in one of my meetings. I said, this opportunity, I've invested my money and it's going to be there for 5 years. What if they die? I say they are not going to die. Why? Because I've done my risk assessment, I've done a profiling of the company, the owners of the company, their strategy, and so I can put money and say, this one is for my second born. In 5 years' time, we'll be graduating, it will have amounted to about 2 billion naira. This one is my firstborn, in 3 years, we'll be graduating, it will have amounted to this. This one is for my, you know, you can plan it. But when you are in anything that you are looking at when it will go and you go out, then you are not in a serious multiplication business. That's why real estate, by the wealthy people's definition, is in the category of wealth fortification and not wealth multiplication. You use real estate to fortify what you have multiplied. Now, if I now have from my investment every month, I have like $50,000 every month, then I can start building an estate from that $50,000 profit. You understand? I can start building an estate. It's not to attempt to use real estate. I showed this as an example to somebody who just joined the community, and I said, what do you have? What are your assets? And then she listed all the assets, and I said, we are going to sell this land. He said, they said the land is now worth 2.5 million. How much did you buy? He said, I bought it 600,000. I said, okay, here now, call the person the company that sold it to you and tell them they should dispose it for you. Number one, let's look at how long it's going to take them to dispose it. Number two is let's look at the value. They've told you it has grown to worth 2.5 million. Now, she placed the call across to the person, and the person said, hey, I will call you back in the Then later, the person told her that there's no buyer now. You have to wait till next year. Now, you can see how frustrating that could be. Let's assume that it's an emergency and you need to take it out. Then that's when she now say, okay, but if you are ready to sell it 500,000, now she's now telling you the truth about the true value of that asset. That is actually 500,000. It's just a marketing gimmick to tell you that it has gone to 5 million, so that more people, you will bring more people to invest in it. Then the last stage, the last class, just like in 400 level, when you have done everything, it's just project, and then there is no much cost work. Wealth transfer. Wealth transfer is where you take money, put it to your children, take money, put it into orphanages. You know, you can. It is wealth. After you have multiplied wealth, you have fortified your wealth, then you can transfer the wealth that you have multiplied and fortified. Now, this is a model that I run and adopt in our mentorship community, which all of this I'm telling you because this is the pattern I am taking you through and suggesting to you that you undertake in the year 2021 if you actually want 2021 to be different. In our community, the moment you join, we put you in a 2 years artificial scarcity period. Artificial scarcity. One way to don't forget that I said the wealth accumulation stage is the most important. That's where you gather capital before you can say you want to multiply it. Now, a poor man wants to go into wealth and is not ready to sacrifice his television. It's not ready to. I know people who had come into our community and have sold off their land, sold off cars. In fact, there's somebody on here today who, when he sold his car, people were laughing at him. They were laughing at him. But when they began to see the result, he was so excited. He's so excited that he sold his car, you know. So we call it artificial scarcity period. We define, depending on how much capital you are able to raise, we define your time, your period of artificial scarcity. But our standard is 2 years. That 2 years, you contribute a minimum of 50% of your income for investment, you know, minimum. As a lead mentor, I do 80%. 80% of my income goes into into investment, which means that I'm going to live like I'm broke, even though I am not broke. I'm going to live like there is no change, even though there is change. But what am I doing? I want to shorten the cycle of my journey to wealth. So because of that, I am contributing 80% of my income every single day. So because I don't call it every month like other, because money comes in every day. So I put it into investment and investable products. And I know that I can always tell people, if I knew this thing that I know when I was 20, man, I wouldn't have worked for anybody for 5 years. I would have retired at 40. And I know there are some of us here who are still in that range of 20s that you can attempt to, you can make, if you begin this journey, you can retire at 35, you can retire at 40. You know, why? Today you make sacrifices of your long-term gains and of your short-term gains and put it into investment, and before you know it, you are in wealth. Another thing that we do is to minimize consumption. I share this story of the wealthy man. He says, share the wealth of 100 wealthiest to the 100 poorest. In 100 days to return back to the owner. Go and try it. Check it around yourself. Find 5 people who are very poor. Give them 2,000 naira. Give them 20,000 naira. And just after 5 days, call them and ask them to give account of it. They will tell you they bought chicken for Christmas. They will tell you, let me tell you, there are some of us that if we are gifted something this Christmas, we should say no. I want to endure this Christmas so that I can enjoy the next Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how the way to grow into wealth. Now, what are the wealth multiplication? We are now taking each of those stages one by one. We have handled the wealth accumulation, which is where you grow your capital. We use artificial scarcity. We use consumption minimization as one of our methods into growing capital accumulation. Then the next thing is wealth multiplication. How do you multiply wealth? Here you will never see real estate. Some of us are fans of real estate, and I love that. But please let me show you, let me tell you, real estate is not there to multiply wealth. It is the maximum it can multiply wealth is speculative. It is a wealth fortification process, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you some of the products and platforms that multiplies wealth. In today's finance, 2 or 3 or 4 that multiplies capital or multiplies wealth is Forex. Number 1, Forex. Number 2, crypto. Let me talk about Forex and crypto. And I know some of us don't even want to hear about this. Don't forget, in my back slide, I talked about being digitally aware. Being digitally aware. Many of us are not digitally aware, and because we don't understand how the crypto world works, we think that it is one machine that is just producing figures. No, sir. The digital model is going to produce the next massive, in the next 2 years, massive wealthy people. You understand that the traditionally wealthy people that used to own oil and gas, manufacturing industries, will be little compared to those that will be produced. The wealthiest man in network marketing today is a Nigerian from Benin who earns about $1 million every single week. $1 million every single week. I don't know how many industries can produce that. I don't know how many housing estates can produce that. Minimum $1 million every week. Is the richest network marketing young man. Is from Benin, but is not within the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, you must understand the digital platform so that you can take the maximum advantage of it, because that is the next money-making machine. It's already making big wealth of people. So Forex, let me also talk about Forex. Like I said, a Forex company, a Forex trading company just shut down last week in Nigeria, and even up to yesterday, the investors are all over the place shouting and all of that. But let me tell you, it does not still remove the fact that Forex is the most robust, the most liquid environment in the financial system today. Every single day, Monday to Friday, there is a minimum, an average of $6.6 trillion being traded in the Forex market. $6.6 trillion, not naira, $6.6 trillion every single day, 5 days, Monday to Friday. However, let me also tell you the reason why many of us run away from Forex and crypto is because there is a statistics in the marketplace. Only 3% of the players in the Forex market makes profit on a consistent basis. I mean, they made profit last year, they made next year, they are going to make in the next 5 years only 3%. And these 3% are called institutional trading companies. The remaining 97% comes in, make profit today, tomorrow, their own money, profit and capital is swept off. They manage to get back, make profit for 3 months, next tomorrow. I know somebody's on this call was listening to me on Saturday where I was having a meeting, I was having a personal private meeting with them and was telling me of a particular one that is paying them so much. And I said, it cannot be sustained. In the marketplace, there is an average, there's a world average returns. And this is one of the things, if you don't understand the world average return in a particular segment that you are playing or you are investing, you will put your money in the wrong place. If the average in the world is 20 and somebody is promising to give you 30, you can be sure that it will not last. And you know the problem of this market is that when people collect your money and they trade for you, at some point, maybe they promise you some high yield and they are giving you like 20%. And at some point, they make 7%. What they do is to take out of your capital and give to you to make it up to that 20%. 13% is added. The next month, they make 25%, they shock the 5%. The next month, they make 2%, they take as much as 18% from your capital and pay you again. Before you know it, one day, just like the one that shut down last week, we just shut down. Why? Because they are paid. So what do you do in a place like this to look for the world index, world as averages? Today in the Forex market, the world average is around 20%. So any company that is paying you 20%, anybody company that is paying you 20% cannot sustain it because the world average is 20%. So this 3% institutional Forex trading company, what they do is to pay you like between 50 and 60% of the average, so that whatever higher they make, let me tell you, when we say 20 is the average, there are months they will make 30, there are months they will make 20, there are months they will make 27, there are months they will make 14, there are months they will make 7, but on the average is 20. So this 3% company will tell you we are making 20, and they are telling you truly they are making 20 or they are making 24 average, but they're going to pay you 10, they're going to pay you 8. That way, that means that if they are making 20 and they promise you 8, that means there is a 18% that they are keeping because the market is more sometimes volatile. I was talking to somebody today that except those kind of companies, most companies by December shut down in Forex market, in Forex trading companies, because that the volume in 2 weeks to New Year is always a bit low. So most companies shut down. Some of them will never come back up again. Why? Because they cannot sustain it. But for a company who is accumulating out of 20 that is making, is accumulating 10. Out of 18 it made that accumulate, it gives you 10 and accumulates the rest. You know, and even when it makes 2%, it can still conveniently give you the difference and still stay afloat for the next 200 years. You know, these are the risk assessment that we do as financial analysts and investor advisor to be able to look at this thing. And you see the joy, like I've always said, in investment is not about let me invest and in 3 months I quickly cash out. The joy is to be able to plan. Wealth is not made, you can't enter into wealth doing cash in, cash out. When you want to enter into wealth, you find a place where you can leave your money to grow. Ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, and I've said on several fora, Omega Pro is one of such company in the entire world that does what I've just told you. As a matter of fact, one of the things that amazes me about Omega Pro is that every single trade it undertakes, which means that sometimes it can undertake about 500 or let's say 200 trades in one day, as real life is being published on a public website. Permit me to see if I can launch into their website, which is a public site, not their member site. Let me log into it right now. Let me share it with you. Let me share my screen with you so you know that I'm not just doing anything by the way. This is a public website of Omega Pro that I'm talking about. And when you look at it, every single transaction is published. Yesterday was 22nd. Yesterday was 22nd. Today is 23rd. Ladies and gentlemen, can you see with me? All their transactions for today, 23rd. I'm going to mark it so that you can see it well. All their transactions, look at 23rd. 23rd started here. The first transaction they did today was at 12:17 a.m. and they made a profit of 2.951. The next one they did was at 1:02 in the midnight and they made a profit of 0.147. The next one at 5:44, they made a loss of 2.793, yet they posted it real life. The next one at 7:20, they made a loss of 0.802, yet they posted it. You can see every single transaction. A company that does this is not a company that wants to later manipulate, because somebody like me, as someone who puts my reputation at stake to recommend products to people, I take this information, I put it to Excel. I submit to so that I will watch at the end of the month, are they going to post something different than the summation of everyday transaction that they have posted, real life. So you can see it. These are companies, this is a company that you know your money can be safe with them for the next 20 years. I'm going to show you, only God does not change, but there are some opportunities you see, there are some things you do in risk assessment that will tell you that, no, this one is safe with the grace of God. Now, when you look at this, every of his monthly profit, it posted every month since it started. October, November, there are months of 27, 26, 28, months of, you can see 27, 14, 18. This is how it is. But on the average rate every month for the last 26 months that this company has been in operation, you can see it is 16.88. But this company only pays, let me share my calculator with you because I like to do this when I'm showing this opportunity. This company makes on the average, you saw the average on that website, which is not a manipulated system. This company makes 16.88 or has made 16.88 in the last 26 months. Now, it has only paid 10% to its customer. It pays monthly 10%. Now, means that there is a 6.88 that is warehousing for the last 26 months. So let's multiply it. This is 178.88% that has warehoused. Now, when you look at this, the website that I showed you now, only 4 times in the last 26 months has this company made slightly below the 10% I promised. One time it made 9.4, 7.2, 7.3, and another 8.4. Now, when you average this, let me also show you 178. Somebody should keep that number for me. 9.4 plus 7.3, 7.2 plus 7.4 plus 8.2 minus 40%. You know it's 4 months, so minus 40%. So which means there is, sorry, let me take it again. 9.4. Okay, I saw where the error is from. So we have 9.4 plus 9.4 plus 7.2 plus 7.3 plus 8.4 minus 40. So we have 7.7 divided by 4. So there's an average of 1.9 twice in a year that it goes back to the accumulated 178.88 to take. Now times 2. This is 3.85. Now let's take 3.85. Let's take 178, Abby, is 170 or 188? 178.88 divided by 3.85. Okay, it's all right. So that is it. That means that if this company makes, if this is a standard, or if it's a pattern, and this company makes 2 times in 26 months, which I increased even slightly at this rate, and it goes to take it from the accumulated returns, not the profit. It takes it from the accumulated reserve. It will take the next 46 years for it to exhaust the reserve. That means no addition is being built to it again. Now, if the company makes 4 times instead of the 2 times that we have seen by pattern, if it makes 4 times in a year, below that rate, below 10%, it will still take the next 11 years to exhaust the volume that it has built. Let's now look at a very crazy, unimaginable situation that the company, every time, twice in a year, I mean 6 months in a year out of 12 months, it makes below that rate. Let's now look at it and say 178.88 divided by 1.95 divided by 2. No, sorry. 178.88 divided by 178.88 divided by 3.95 and divide by 3. So that means that if half of the year they make below 10% at the same rate that we have found, it will still take the next 15 years to exhaust the reserve that they have built. Ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the analysis, the ownership of the company, the strategy of the company. All of this made us an investment advisor like me to be able to say, put your money there. If you want it for 5 years, you can comfortably say, the next 5 years, this is what I am putting my money, and this is what I expect to meet in 5 years' time. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just one of it. Another thing that I talked about, another one that I talked about, let me go back to my slide. Another one that I talked about is the crypto. And there are different ways to take advantage of the crypto environment. There is crypto accumulation, there is crypto mining, and there's crypto trading. Crypto accumulation is to say, I know Bitcoin, for example, is going to be increasing. So as I have money, I buy little, accumulating for the days that it shoots very high. Don't forget, some years ago, Bitcoin was just like $100. But today, Bitcoin is running between $18,000, $19,000. So let's assume somebody had accumulated at $100, $200, $300, even $500. Today, now that Bitcoin had become $18,000, $19,000, $20,000, you can know that is in fact, if the other person was able to hold like 20 Bitcoin, the person is in wealth already by now. Now, there's also Forex crypto trading. It's just similar to Forex trading. It's buying and selling by the direction of the market. And so this is also massive. Then we have what we call crypto mining. Crypto mining is crypto giveaways, taking advantage of crypto giveaways. If you understand the market very well, there are sometimes that that companies gives little takeaways or giveaways, like Bitcoin. Some company may be giving you 0.000123 Bitcoin, which might just not be more than 300 naira when you look at the worth. But as you accumulate it, as you mine it, we call it mining. Little is adding up, topping up. You discover that without putting any 1 naira, you have accumulated and you have mined crypto that could be worth 1 million naira, 2 million naira. So that's also an option. Let me also talk about another side of the wealth multiplication process, which I call, one is subscription to online companies. Many years ago, Amazon came up during its IPO. That means IPO is just like talking to the public before the company come on board, before the company really became operational. And they are saying, if this company is going to be massive, it's going to be doing this, this is the projection for the next 10 years. And if you want to invest as an owner of the company, just drop $1. Say, how can I put money in a company that I've not started? And then we ignore it. Today, some people that put $100, $1 into Amazon, some of those are now worth over $200 million, $200,000, sorry. $1 of those days. That is seeing an opportunity that is not yet battered. But believing in the opportunity, you are not part of the people that strategize, that strategically position the, but they just came to you and say, come and buy. Come and buy share in this company. It has not started, but this is our projection. And you buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, today, you can't even get Amazon share to buy. Those that bought in $1 are now worth $200,000. That's what we call subscription to online, appealing of online companies. One company that is coming up, ladies and gentlemen, is called Unpassive. It's called Unpassive. Unpassive is one company that is coming to do something that has never been done before. And right now, they are in IPO stage, asking people, come and pay just less than $150 and own a place in this company, you know, and only people that understand. When I saw what they are going to be into, I know that this company is going to be massive. So people that are intelligent, wealthy people will go and buy like 200 positions in that company. $150, $150, $200, they buy position. By the time they do a soft launching, which is likely going to happen before the end of this year, the value will double. They have not even still come to life. They've not started operation. By the time maybe around February next year that they are going to launch, nobody is permitted to buy into the company again. Only that the result will now start coming for those that were wise enough to subscribe into a company that have not yet existed. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing I want to talk to you about is digital advertisement. Digital advertisement is taking the place of traditional advertisement. And that is where I'm going to also link it with the network marketing. Today, many of us, when we hear network marketing, including myself, I never see myself as a network marketer, never. But digital marketing is taking the place of the traditional marketing, of advertisement, of TV, newspaper. You see a lot of adverts are leaving the newspaper, are leaving the TV. Why? Where is it going? It's the digital advertisement platform. And what do? Including this Bitcoin mining, they use that option. You know, when you have a website or you have an online presence with volume of subscribers, companies are willing to, because they know that if they put advert on your site, this number of people multiplied by the expected number of people that are connected to them are going to see the advert. So what do? If I know that you have an online friend of 1 million people, I can come and put my advert with you and say, I'll pay 200,000 naira, 2 million naira, 500 million naira. Because I know that there are 1 million subscribers on your platform, and each one of them will not have less than 100. So 1 million times 100 is 100 million. So my advert is going to reach 100 million. So they come and buy into it. So that opportunity is also opening up massively. However, the reason you need an advisor is because some of them, in fact, the most that are available are fixed. They'll collect your money because you have to, for them, you also have to invest in them as a company, as an online company, before you also get your return. Now, by the time you do it, before they also disappear. So, but we have our guideline for rating these companies to be able to know that these ones are not in to just eat and go away. Network marketing is also another platform to multiply wealth. I told you about a young man. He doesn't own a company. He doesn't own any product. What he does is to enter into companies that needs to be marketed, subscribe to them, and bring his number, the number of people that is connected to him, bring them on board. And because of that, the company pays network bonuses and referral bonuses. And from this, I told you, the number one man in the entire world, network marketing, is a Benin man, an African, is 36-year-old today, this year. And he earns in excess, an average of $1 million every week, not every month. Ladies and gentlemen, these are opportunities to multiply wealth. Many of us are still running the traditional system. It will work because somebody must do the chicken that we eat. Somebody must open the eateries where I don't want my wife to cook or to stress herself, we'll go and eat. However, wealthy people knows where the wealth is. That they are not, there is labor in this thing, and some of us, we like those things that we see, you see your chicken running around, you're excited that your money is working. But some people sit at home, sleeping. I was showing somebody an opportunity. They say, sir, I'm also doing something like that. Didn't you see that since I've been talking to you, I'm holding my phone? I said, what are you doing? I said, I have to be checking if the thing is moving up. If it's going down, I will just quickly up my platform and say, you kill yourself. Because if I have to watch all my investments that they are going up or down. I say I have investment that I've never visited for the last 2 years, and they are money investment, but I just know that they are there, not because I have done my profiling and I know what I review on daily basis. But to go and be checking my account and sit with it, that is still blood money, ladies and gentlemen. So these are wealth multiplication process. Then we talk about wealth fortification, we talk about real estate. For those of you that love real estate very well, I also love real estate, but not as a wealth multiplication. Real estate are not wealth multiplication tools or products. They are wealth fortification. When you have made your money, when you have multiplied your money, you can come to real estate and start sinking buildings, start buying houses, start buying estate, building estates. Yes, that is possible. That can now fortify your wealth, which means this one is not going anywhere again. Come and sit down here. You know, that's the way it is. Then you can sink manufacturing companies, industries, and all of that. Wealth transfer. When we come to wealth transfer, you talk about children, orphanages, religious organization. Now you have made wealth, you have fortified it. You can now say, this organization, come and take these 2 buildings, this land here, to this church, come and take it, this mosque, come and build mosque there, you know. Inheritance is no more the transfer of properties. Somebody said, he said, inheritance today, when a man is going to die, what it does is just to give you a login, a password, a login, a username and a password, and that's inheritance. Why? Because that's where the wealth is now, in the digital space. Wealth is now more in the digital space. So inheritance is no more the transfer of properties. But listen, in our community, this is how we define inheritance. Inheritance is the transfer of knowledge and the discipline that created them. If you got that, please drop it in the chat box. Inheritance is transfer of knowledge and the discipline that created them. Let me tell you, many people have died very wealthy. I can mention the name of one. Abiola of those days was a man that borrowed countries, lent money to countries, you know. But when he transferred the inheritance, the discipline that created them was not transferred. So today you can hardly see any of Abiola's company still existing. Why? The wealth, the properties were transferred, knowledge and the discipline did not accompany them. And as long as knowledge is not transferred, discipline is not transferred, you have not transferred anything. If you transfer assets and transfer the knowledge, but you didn't transfer the discipline, they will have the knowledge to run the company, but as they run the company, they will run it down, clubbing, carrying ladies, smoking, and all those vices. So inheritance is complete when there's a transfer of properties, maybe, but of knowledge and the discipline that created them. So ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that we must ensure that as we also gather this wealth, then we must also train our children with knowledge and discipline. I was going for a training some weeks ago when I was introduced to someone who has the kind of skill that I also want to listen to. And they said to sit in his class, you pay 100,000. I took 200,000, carry one of my children, say, let us go. I want to be listening to what I'm listening to. And that's what I've been doing for my children. Anything that I'm doing, they are also there listening to it, understanding what the future holds, not living in the traditional system. You know, now there is also what we call defined ambition. And this is what we must begin to do from today. Defined ambition. You must begin to define, how do you want your 2020 to be? Because it is the ambition you define that will determine the kind of sacrifices that you make. The ambition you define, how you want your 2021 to be. For example, for me, I always tell my children, I say, get ready, because by the time I retire and you start working twice in a year, you'll be sending me and your mommy for holiday twice in a year, at least 2 weeks holiday each time. So I'm already defining my ambition, how I want retirement to look like. And so that can be put into naira and kobo and dollars. It can be put into the effort that I will put in, the investment capital that we have to raise in January, in December. Many of us now, when we approach people with investment opportunities, we wait in January. You know, this is the time to take the money that you are going to waste in December out of your hand. You did what I said? This is the time. If anybody comes to you with a very viable investment opportunity, this is the time to say, I'm taking the money in my hand out so that I don't waste it. And so I live like I don't have money. Let's even see whether Christmas will come or not. Are you the one celebrating birthday? It is not you that is celebrating birthday. It's Jesus that is celebrating birthday. So take the monies out of your hand in December. Let it look like This is not, it's not a must for you to do the things that you have always wasted money on. Don't defy it in January, because when you get into January, there are a lot of people hustling at the same time for the same thing that you are looking for. But if you are already settled in it, there is what we call in wealth, in the wealth world, there's what we call positioning. Let me tell you, positioning is very superior to effort. Positioning in the journey of wealth, positioning is superior to effort. So if someone who has positioned himself, like I said, somebody bought Amazon 10 years ago, but we couldn't buy more than one. But now somebody is coming and making effort. I want to buy. How much? 200,000. I can pay $300,000 to just get one. That's effort. But the one that just positioned himself has earned more than 10 times of that, because the company has been paying for the last 10 years. So defined ambition is telling yourself, how do I want 2021 to be? Now, after defining how I want 2021 to be, everyone will define something very good. How much sacrifice I'm ready to pay today, not in January, to pay this December. Today, I'm going to take all the monies in my account and invest it. And let's see whether Christmas or New Year will celebrate itself or not. So that my children will not go through the stress that I'm going through right now. How wealthy or otherwise will you love to be in 2021? And that's what we call define ambition. Define your ambition. The moment you define your ambition, you can see the effort that you need, the capital that you need, the discipline that you need to take you into your position of your definition. When you have done that, then you discover that the journey has begun. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you, how do you raise capital? Artificial scarcity. Sometimes you need to sell off liabilities. Some people are using cars. I told you, one member of my mentorship community sold off his car. Another one sold off 2 lands. But today they are happy. They are trekking and happy, because what is accumulating for them is joy to them. So avoid debts. If you go to my YouTube channel, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, let somebody also, another member of the community, drop the YouTube channel in the chat box. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to it. I did a lecture on credit, avoiding debts, building your credit status. One of the #1 wealthy man in Africa borrowed or took a credit facility of $1.2 billion and was supposed to pay in a number of months, but 10 months before the payment was due, he came to pay. And 2 months after, he came to pay to take something more than 5 times of what he paid. Why? He's building a credit status. Ladies and gentlemen, credit status is what is life. That's why the wealthy do not see credit as debt. They see credit as trust. It's a lecture for another day. Another thing that you must know in the raising capital is network marketing. And this is how I define network marketing, because I discovered that I've been doing a little of it of late. But so when people look at network marketing as I say, for me, is the art of telling people of good experiences that you have had. Network marketing is the art of telling people the good experiences that you've had. For example, you just went, you have never seen a tailor make your dress a particular way. And when you went to take your clothes from the tailor and you saw how beautiful it is, you say, wow. You are saying, this is nice. Say, yes, I just met this man. In fact, it's crazy. And he said, where is the shop? How much did he charge you? And the next thing you start doing, the art of telling people of good experiences you have had is network marketing. And let me tell you, one way for a pauper to become wealthy in life is through network marketing. Every good experience you've had with investment, with opportunities, tell it to people. Companies are out there today who the only thing, they have abandoned television, they have abandoned billboards, paying Ronaldo $20,000, $200,000 to appear on billboard. That somebody like me don't look at the side, because the last time I watched football was in 1987 when Nigeria played against Australia. Russia. You understand? Now, so if you put 20 Ronaldos on the billboard, pay him $1 million, I won't still look at it. I won't be enticed by the bottle of Coca-Cola that is taken in his hand. But network marketing is using the people who have experienced something good to tell other people about it, and the company say this is our own way of paying them. Ladies and gentlemen, these are ways that in 2021, don't avoid any of these 3 things I've shown on the screen. Don't avoid it in 2021. Don't say, I don't know how to talk. Are you a traditionalist or herbalist? A traditionalist or herbalist? Who is a traditionalist? Many of us here are traditionalists. We are herbalists. Who is a traditionalist? Who is a herbalist? By my definition, in my school of thought and in my community, a man stuck into the traditional way of making money is a herbalist. A man stuck into the traditional way of making money is a traditionalist. You believe that Forex, crypto, digital trades don't have tangibility because I don't know where their office is. You know, I was talking to somebody, I was sharing an opportunity with somebody some months ago, and they said, are they registered in Nigeria? And I laughed. He asked again, did the CBN approve them? I laughed. I said, multinational companies, digital companies today do not get registered in every country they operate. For example, I just told you about Omega Pro. Omega Pro is operating in over 120 countries as we speak, over 100 countries as we speak. Now, if they have to go through all their regulators, the KAMA law in Nigeria, now our people have become very wise to do a tax law, finance act every year. Last year, we saw all the good and the bad in the finance act. This year, another one is being released. They will have to employ people to run after KAMA to make sure that they are not defaulting. They will run after tax law. They will run after FRS. They will run after SEC. They will run after CBN. That's those that will operate in the finance sector. And in 100 countries like that, they will establish such thing. Let me tell you, half of the income of the company will be put into that. So digital companies don't get registered everywhere that they have members. So they just pick 1, 2, 3 places where it is strategic for them to have offices and have offices there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at many weeks ago, one of the regulatory entity in the finance system in Nigeria just announced that any account where there's a sign of a Bitcoin trade and whatever should be closed down. If not for ignorance, ladies and gentlemen, where is the base of Bitcoin and blockchain? There is no physical presence for it, but even America, United Kingdom, as strong as their financial system is, could not but appreciate the fact that they are a very strong factor in the financial system, in the currency system. And so what do they do? For a country like advanced countries, America, UK, and some of them, they integrated the cryptocurrency system into the physical banking. So what they did was that if you want to deposit money into your Bitcoin account, to any of your crypto account, you can go into a commercial bank and drop money in the cashier as if you are dropping money into your account. If you want to withdraw from your crypto account, you can go to a bank and withdraw from it, so that the money will still remain in the physical banking system, in physical finance system. But our people went raging that they should close every account where there are these things. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a traditionalist. This year, 2021, you must take on smart work as against hard work. Hard work is activity without planning, using your energy. Analysis paralysis. I'm sure if you have been on my program, you hear analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis is where you paralyze yourself trying to analyze a professional's advice, a mentor's advice. You sit there analyzing it, and other people have taken advantage and moved on. Smart work is productivity from having plans ahead, using the advantage of digital platform and smart platform. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm beginning to round up. If you have any question, let's begin to drop it now. I want to round up in the next 10 minutes. If you have any question, just begin to round up. Now, what you need to do. Number one is get a financial mentor. The person you will be in the future will depend on who you listen to today. Who you listen to will determine what action you also take. Number two is that you must be disciplined. Learn the discipline of the wealthy. And that's one beautiful thing that our community does, because you just see everybody behaving in a similar way, and you cannot come and behave like the dirty one. So you have to just align, and over time it becomes a culture. You have to learn to take action, not just to learn, but to take action. You have to understand the digital space. How does it work? How does Forex work? How do I identify one who can guide me on one that I know that under God is going to remain, then look for customized solutions through a mentor who have provided a proven solution and provide one that is fit for you. Set your priorities right. Ladies and gentlemen, call to action. Get a mentor. Have a wealthy mindset. Get familiar with the digital space. Change your community. Avoid analysis paralysis. Define your ambition for 2021 and begin to take action. This is where I'm going to end this midday session. Once again, this is planning for a better, your finance for a better 2021 by Yemi Ayodele, the pioneer and the lead mentor of financial mentoring with Yemi Ayodele, a program that is on social media. We run every Saturday, 2 p.m., every Sunday, 2 p.m. If you have any question, please, can you just drop your question in the chat box as we begin to round up? If you have any question, please drop your question in the chat box. Or if there have been questions that have been dropped, let me look through it and see. Are there any questions in the chat box? We have questions. If you have questions, let's quickly deal with questions. If there are things that I said that confused you the more rather than convincing you, can I just see your hand and just type it in the chat box what it is that you will need further explanations to. Just let me see it in the chat box. Somebody saying great value for my time. Fantastically great. Please reserve that one. Let me have question. I can't stress myself with analysis paralysis. That's what has made us, many of us, to remain in one place. Analyze. I remember I was showing somebody an opportunity some months ago, and he actually loved it. Beautiful. He was willing to come and get on board. Then the following day he came and said, "Sir, are you sure this thing will work?" I said, "It will work." I said, "Why will it not work?" He said, I spoke to somebody about it. He said that this can never work. I said, who did you? I said, so what did the person say? To convince me and show me the event, the person now forwarded the chart. When I looked up to the chart, you know what I saw? I saw driver. I saw my driver. So a financial analyst like me, an investment advisor who had been a banker for 12 years, sorry to say, there could be drivers and intelligent drivers, but you have your area of expertise. This is my area of expertise, and for those around me, they know what I have achieved in this. And by the grace of God, I am a top leader in several companies on investment. So now, you now take my advice to a driver. If you want to know the bus stops, you can go to a driver. If you want to know how many filling stations have fuel, you can go to a driver. If you want to know, if you are confused about how your car is running, you can go to a driver. He can give you advice. But when it comes to investment, you look for people who have been in investment space for years, and then you ask for advice. Now, somebody said I should elucidate more on a herbalist and on passive. A herbalist is a traditionalist, and a traditionalist, by my definition, is someone who is stuck in the traditional way of making wealth. Stuck in the traditional way of making wealth. You know, in the real sense of it, herbalists are not different from charmists. Herbalists are people that are comfortable with mixing flower with flower to treat an ailment. If you don't know, it is not about charming. It's about defining this. When some people have gone ahead to make tablets, those leaves that you are cutting together, they have made it into tablet, and you could just swallow it. But they still believe that until you mix one leaf with one root, that is where headache will go. So that is what it is. Can one move from poverty to wealth without passing through levels of riches? No. Riches, no. Riches, you have to understand what riches are. Riches is just talking about money. Wealth begin with the mindset. That's why you see some people who have money. Have you seen people who have money and they are keeping it in their rooms? That person is just rich, is poor. So the opposite of wealth is poverty. The opposite is riches, is not having money. So they are not opposite to one another. So you can, the level of riches, yeah, you can be rich, but it is not synonymous with wealth. However, it's an evidence of wealth. Riches is an evidence of wealth. But riches, not every rich man is wealthy. For someone that doesn't have any immediate source of wealth to be accumulated yet, what is the way forward? There is no one, Toria, there is no one that does not have. And this is where mentorship comes up. I have some people in this class today who are students and they are in my mentorship community. They are students and they are in their mentorship, they are in my mentorship community, and they have been able to raise some capital for investments. So there is nobody that does not have an immediate source of wealth. Is identifying it. If you look at this, and I talked about network marketing. You don't have money, but you cannot talk also. Then you are dead. Then you can never be to, you cannot be on, you cannot get to wealth. So if there is someone, everybody has something. If you don't have money, you must be able to talk. You must get up, and someone can pull you out of your rigidity and timidity. Sorry, timidity, and get to, like somebody, you saw one of the testimonials, could not even face two people to talk, but through mentorship, we're able to bring her. And the first time she stood on a podium and was speaking, and a minister was sitting, head of organization was sitting, she was amazed that she could do it. But and that is a journey. That's the beginning of a journey. Now, as soon as she was coming down, NTA was waiting for her to interview her, and that could just be your launch out. Toria, get a mentor today. Get in touch with me, and whoever invited you, get my number from them, and then let's begin the journey together. You will discover that there is no one that is empty. There is something you have that can produce wealth. And we are not talking about those irregular, abnormal, wayward things. We are talking about capacity that God puts inside of you. And in one of my lectures, if you will listen to my channel, you see, a poor man is a man who has made up his mind not to use the quality that God has put into him to produce something tangible. So I said, so when I hear people say, I don't have anything, somebody who doesn't have anything, one thing is either that they are ignorant, the other thing is that they have not found the right people around them to show them what they have. So Toria, I can help you identify what you have and bring money out of it and get you in the capital required on the journey to wealth. The number one man in Africa in one company today was a young man who sponsored himself to school. So what does he have? Sponsored his entire family to school. But 2 weeks ago, when the elder brother was getting married, he donated a car. Some weeks ago, we went on an outing. Surprisingly, none of us even knew. As we were stepping out of the outing, it was a brand new car bought for his wife, brand new, not Tokumbo. So everybody has something. Everybody has something. Toria, get in touch with me. Well, I will be able to identify what you have. I will produce the capital that you need. I will bring you on the journey to wealth. Do we have any other question before we end? Do you have any other question? Please, if you are here today and whatever means that you got here, please, I want to put you into a class, not the community, and to be able to see how we work together for your 2020. So you can take my number in the chat box now, 080-8933-6534. 080-8933-6534. Some of us that thinks that we are already rich. Rich is different from, say, let me tell you, one sickness can, God forbid, this pandemic took away a lot of people. You saw, look at the last SARS, what do you call it? SARS, NSARS. Look at people that their entire livelihood was burnt down. So that's why you see that having a shop, a mighty shop, having a ShopRite kind of mall, is wealth fortification, is not wealth. If you are still multiplying wealth and you go to build ShopRite to multiply wealth, you'll be disappointed. That SaaS will have ended everything. But for a man who is using that ShopRite as a wealth fortification, then he will go back to the one that is still producing the baby and set it up again. I saw a woman on TV about 2 weeks ago whose wealth was ruined by the NSAS movement. You know, they burned down a massive shop, a massive mall. And this woman in 2 weeks built it back up. What did you think happened? It is, the woman is wealthy. There is something that keeps producing. That mall was a wealth fortification for her. It was not what multiplies the wealth. So she could easily go back to the wealth multiplication system and get sufficient money to bring. 2 weeks, she brought everything back up. Some people have lost the entire life savings investment in that NSAS because they attempted to use things that are wealth fortification as wealth multiplication. Thank you very much. A rich man is not a wealthy man, not necessarily, but a wealthy man must be a rich man. Yes, men are wealthy because of two things, what they have and what they do with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So please let every one of us on this call, invited by someone or yours, or I invited you, or through the registration process online, you came on board. My number is on the chat box for you. Please send me a chat message. Tell me your name. And somebody said something at the beginning of this course that I said was had won for him or herself $10. Who is that? Is it Moses? Let me see. Check. Okay. Where is guys? Okay. I want a change. I want a change. I'm looking at it now. I need a dramatic and drastic change. Moses, please get in touch with me and take your $10 after this. Every time I come online like this, I am with not less than $500. But I just need something to stimulate me. I want a change was what I said people should say. He exclaimed he needed a dramatic and drastic change. So let me tell you, and these are things, sometimes you go into a place where God will have showcased you, but you kept quiet. And a quiet mouth is a quiet destiny, it's a silenced destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's Moses, I've seen it, it's Moses. Thank you. Reduce consumable, yes, Emma. Reduce consumable, Emma too is, she was so excited to be in this program that I was on another meeting 2 days ago, and she joined. She thought it was the program. And so, Emma, I'm going to send $10 to you also, just to buy some chocolates. Emma Noel, $10 for you. I'll send it through engineer that you gave me his name that other day. Now, the second segment of this program is running by 8 p.m. If you think that you still want to hear more, you can still join the people that are coming on board. Every new presentation, every other presentation is new always. And so you can join us by 8 o'clock this evening for the second segment of this program, Position Planning Your Finances for a Better 2020. This is where we're going to end today. Please make sure that you chat me up on that number that I've given you, 080. Let me just share the slide. It is 08089336534. 08089336534. Am I sure it's there? Okay. 08089336534. This is where we're going to end today. I love you for coming here. I want to see every one of you joining the 10,000 wealthy people in 5 years, not just rich, not just comfortable, not just any salaries, but sleeping and waking into money. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, every single week, a minimum of 8-digit currency comes to me every single week. Every single week. If I go to on holiday today and I go to work, a minimum of 7 digits is going to come in. And that is what you need to understand. And you need to ask somebody, ask a mentor, how do you get this done? Where can I start from? Don't get involved in this analysis paralysis, paralyzing your life, trying to analyze things. The way, thank you very much, the way we celebrate ourselves today. If you are here and you love what you have had this afternoon, before you go, just drop a 777 in the chat box. I give it to all of you who have stood for 2 solid hours. It's not a main thing. 2 solid hours. We are just going on now. So drop a 777 in the chat box and chat up with me immediately after this program. I'm going to put you into a group where From there, we'll decide whether you actually want to be part of the community or you just want to be a follower. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to end today. Thank you, Kolawole. Thank you, Moses. Thank you, Okilwa. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Musa. Thank you, Toria. Toria, please get in touch with me. I'm very interested in you. Get in touch with me. Yes, 7 by 700,000. Yes, thank you. 777. Thank you. For those of you that would love to hear more this evening by 8 p.m., come again on this same program. Thank you for being here for the last 2 hours. And this is where we're going to close it. Bye. Bombastic.